welcome back to another episode of The Classified Lady. And I have my amazing sister Lisa with me. Y'all gonna see a whole lot of people. I didn't have to press gang or wrangle her like I do my other sister. I don't know. I might have to wrangle. I don't know. I might be able to wrangle her for one, maybe two episodes. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. But I don't have to wrangle this one. This one, I don't have to press gang and wrangle.
They don't have you won't have to coerce her and twist the arm.
Not this one. Not this one.
Not this one.
So y'all gonna see my sister Lisa with me all throughout the show, and so I'm excited to have her join me on my show this time. And so today we're going to be talking about. Obviously, you guys know that this I changed the show, and we're talking about just overall the challenges of being a Black woman, in particular, how traumatic it is, and particular being a Black woman in America, especially. And so Lisa just celebrated 10 years cancer-free and 5 years. I don't get this word right because my mouth be working. Metastatic.
Yes.
Okay. Because baby, when I see it and trying to say it are two different things. 5 years metastatic, breast cancer-free. And we just had the celebration this weekend. And it's crazy because on the brunch cruise, he was talking about living with cancer. No, we finna fix that. You got to fix that. We cancer free. We're not living with it. She cancer free. Yeah. So we excited about just celebrating that. But I thought that it would be appropriate because of, your milestone anniversaries. Mm-hmm. I don't think people realize just, we talked offline a lot about it, just the mental aspect of one, when you get a diagnosis, two, what you go through, the trauma of working through that diagnosis and everything that you got to do, you know what I'm saying, to get to a place of healing and wholeness and all that stuff. And so for you, 10 years and then hitting that 5-year mark and just the entire journey, I don't think, we've talked about it, that there's just not enough conversation not enough conversation. I'm not saying that the conversations aren't happening because obviously the world is a much bigger place than us. But I don't feel like there's enough conversation, in particular as it relates to Black women dealing with the trauma of a diagnosis, in particular breast cancer. I know there's tons of groups out there, but just talking about the mental fortitude it takes. Is a lot. It's a lot, right? And I think that medicine can only do so much. It's there to do what it does. But the reality is Western medicine in particular, I can't speak for nowhere else because I don't live anywhere else. But Western medicine in particular is not really take into consideration Black folks. There's not enough research, and you can go out there and look for yourself as it relates to Black women, Black men, Black patients overall. Everything is Eurocentric. And you were talking about it just even with your oncologist and stuff. And so I think that just having these conversations lends space to other things because we already have high mortality rates when it comes to child care, birthing children and that kind of stuff. I think overall, just in looking at a lot of things that's been transpiring. So today I just wanted to talk about just the trauma of what it is as Black women to advocate for yourself in healthcare, but also just the overall aspect of what it takes for us to mentally get up every day. First of all, sometimes you don't even want to get out of bed, let alone like your feet hit the floor. Just opening your eyes, it's a gift. We're not saying that, but understanding, just the weight of what that entails and what that looks like,
Yes, you really have to have the mental fortitude to push past your feelings and emotions in a lot of areas. Yeah. As Black women, we deal with so much on a daily basis, but it requires a mental fortitude that sometimes we didn't even realize we had.
Yeah.
And a capacity within us to just say, you know what, I got to keep going. I'm going to keep going.
Right.
I can do this.
Right.
We always talk about how what we tell ourselves is very important
Yeah. Yeah.
because that's what helps to shape our reality,
Yeah.
whether it's
Yeah.
good or bad, whether what we're telling ourselves is good or bad, negative or positive, it really begins to shape our reality. So when I got diagnosed back in 2015, I was like, okay, Lord, so what we gonna do?
Yeah.
Because I didn't find my issues. I didn't find any lumps. I didn't find any discolorations or anything of that nature. When I got the diagnosis, I had pain in the breast.
Right.
And from the pain in the breast, I'm like, Lord, what is this? Because we talk to the Lord like, like that. Lord, what
Yeah.
is this? What is
Yeah.
this?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
We're
he
not doing
answered,
this.
he
Yeah.
answered and he told me. And when he told me that it was breast cancer, he also told me, fear thou not, for I am with you.
Hmm.
So I said, really, we got to do this? This is
Yeah.
what we have to do.
Yeah.
Because now all the questions come.
Yeah. Hmm.
And in our community, in a lot of communities, when you hear the word cancer, now I'm hearing it from the Lord first, not a doctor. And
Yeah.
even with him, I'm having to break past the barriers of, oh my God, it's the big C, it's cancer, because when we hear the word cancer, that word just magnetizes, it just gets so big in our mind,
Yeah.
and we start really thinking about all the things that's gonna happen and that we're gonna die,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So I had to really have this conversation with the Lord. Why this? We could. What is it that you need me to do and learn? We can't do something else. It has to be this.
Yeah.
Can't we do so? I'm already going through hell because I was married,
Mhm.
going through hell in my marriage, and now you want to tell me this?
Yeah.
I got to go through hell some more.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm asking all these questions, and he gave me no answer. He's like, I
Yeah.
already told you, fear thou not, for I'm with you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then, going through the journey of getting the mammogram, and going to the gynecologist first, and then telling her I need to get a mammogram. I was 42. No, at the time I was 41
Hmm.
because it was in November of 2014 when I'm having this conversation with the Lord, and just how he orchestrated everything for me to get to the particular doctors that I had. He really paved the way for me.
Hmm.
But when I got to the doctor, my gynecologist was a black woman. She was amazing. She was amazing. But I wasn't going to stay with her. The
Right.
journey started there. I just need to get to her to get the mammogram because now I need to see a breast surgeon, a breast doctor, a breast surgeon, and all this. They didn't look like me.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I'm
It's
going into
that's half the battle because it's not enough in any of these special. First of all, it's not enough in healthcare that look
not
like
enough
us.
in healthcare at all.
In particular,
Thank God we're
especially
getting better.
we're getting better,
We're getting
but it's
better.
just not enough. And if you're not in certain areas, you definitely might be SOL because depending on where
Yes.
you live, and I think that that contributes to the challenge.
So getting to the to the breast surgeon, I'd asked the Lord, show me who, show me who. I said, I need someone who can speak my language. What I
Yes.
did not ask for was someone who looked like me,
Hmm.
but
Got to
I
be
asked for
specific.
someone who could speak my language. So
Yeah.
that's again, because I know I'm going to the doctor's office. I'm talking Jesus. I'm talking about the Lord. I'm talking about God, and I need them to understand.
You needed someone with like-minded faith because
Yes,
this is when you get a
yes,
diagnosis for anything, it's a faith walk. It's definitely
it's
faith.
a faith walk.
And in a lot of ways, I know when I had my surgery in December 2016, leading up to it, I'm telling essential people only. And when I
Yes,
say essential people only, I only told those who I needed and knew were of like-minded faith. And when I say
Mm-hmm.
like-minded faith, not is not enough just to believe the same Jesus. I needed people who were on the same level of their faith with me. I couldn't have
Yes.
somebody with faith down here create
Yes.
extra doubt and fear. I
Yes.
couldn't have that. I needed people who are at the same level or higher faith to be praying and believing with me. You know what I'm saying? And so I didn't tell certain people till the day before, day before. And some people found
Mm-hmm.
out day of or after the fact, right?
Yeah.
Because I didn't need or want to go into that space. And I had a black OB at the time. My folk were black, okay? But all the attending were
Yeah.
not. You know what I'm
Correct.
saying? And so you're still in that space where everybody you encounter don't look like you, and you do have that concern. It's like, who's advocating for you while you can't advocate for yourself because you're on the
Mm-hmm.
table. That
Right.
anesthesia got you, not him.
Surely.
That
Surely.
anesthesia got you, not here, right? And
Surely.
so I think it was important for you to say that I need someone who's speaking like me, because what happens when I'm on this table? Like,
With my breast surgeon, she was a believer in the Lord Jesus.
good.
We had conversations about the word. We prayed at every visit,
Mm-hmm.
and I was very vocal about this is what the Lord told me. I'm going to take whatever you suggest medically, and I'm going to go home and I'm going to talk to my father about it before I make any decisions, before I say, okay, yes, let's go forward.
Right,
I'm taking this back to my father
right,
to see what he says.
right.
And she did not push back on that.
Yeah,
She understood.
yeah,
She said, okay, I'm fine with that.
yeah.
She said, because this is your body.
Mm-hmm.
I said, thank you. Thank you for understanding that.
Yeah.
And I did. And with some of the treatment, the first treatment recommendation, we talked about all kinds of things. And when I tell you, this woman laid out everything for me, all the
Yeah.
possibilities. She was amazing. And I know that the Lord sent me to her specifically.
Yeah.
Because at the time, she was the top in her field, um, one of the top breast surgeons in Baltimore at the time. And I was like, okay, she spelled out everything. This is what it is. I'm going to do a test to see what type it is.
Journey, you've learned so much that helps you advocate not only for yourself, but others in particular
Mm-hmm.
before you even get diagnosed, because you were talking about this screening to
Mm-hmm.
know, because yeah, you can do all the testing and this and this. And honey, if you big busty like me, it's so much.
Sure.
It's
Right.
the shower, doing it in the shower. Forget it. Do not,
Mm-hmm.
don't even try, because how you gonna hold, lift, and do all you can't. Just
Can
lay down in the bed. Do it
lay
that way.
down. Yes.
I'm just trying to help somebody that has what they call. And if you go to your mammogram, they gonna tell you it's dense breast tissue.
Mm-hmm.
If you have dense breast tissue, that shower test ain't it.
No, it's
You
not.
can't do it in the shower. You got
No.
to lay down and let gravity work with you. Okay,
Right. And
but yes,
even with that, because a lot of Black women have dense breast tissue,
correct. But
and breast cancer can hide
yes,
in dense breast tissue.
and honestly, until I got, I only had one doctor suggest laying down. Everybody else was like, do it in the shower. I'm like, I'm struggling to do it in the shower. And
Mm-hmm.
oh, that's the best way. I'm struggling to do it in the shower. I had one doctor. She was like, that's not realistic for you. She was like,
No.
lay down. And in
Yes.
my OB exam, I was laying down. Like, it never dawned on anybody else, or they didn't care. I don't know. But like constantly advocating for yourself, saying, I'm frustrated because I'm trying to do what I
Mm-hmm.
know I need to do,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm struggling to do it because I ain't got no help. It's just me. And
Mm-hmm.
this, what y'all telling me, is not
Right.
working and it's not dawning. And she was like, just lay down the same way you hear in my office. Lay down, do it like this. And she was like, do it like this.
Exactly.
And that's, and again, even with that, And I think, again, having conversations where you advocate for yourself and it gets frustrating because you're saying something and you're trying to get the information, you're
Mm-hmm.
trying
Yes.
to get what you need, but it's like either they make you feel like you tripping,
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
it's not that serious,
Mm-hmm.
or you know what I mean, for whatever
Yeah.
reason. And again, I'll tell anybody I have white coat syndrome real bad.
Listen, if the doctor is not listening to me or not listening to whomever, I my automatic suggestion, find another doctor.
Uh-huh.
Because sometimes physicians and specialists are like trying on shoes. You
Correct.
have to try them until you find a good fit.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want someone who's going to take the time to explain, make sure you understand,
Yeah.
and listen to you. If they're just, you come into the office, they rush in, they throw a bunch of information at you, examine you real quick, don't ask you if you have any questions, or if they do ask you if you have any questions, they brush your question off and they're ready to move on to the next person. That doctor don't care about you today.
Yeah. I can't stand
I'm
office.
not doing that.
Yeah, herding me like cattle. I'm
No.
not, why you herding me like cattle? First of all, I had an appointment, and if I'm sitting here 20, 30 minutes after my appointment and I'm here 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes early like you asked me to be, and you
Mm-hmm.
still running 20, 30 minutes behind, now I
Mm-hmm.
got extra white coat syndrome because now I'm anxious because I didn't have to sit here and wait and you wasting my time. And now because you behind, you trying to rush, you trying to catch up and rush, and you want to herd me like you saying. I don't
Mm-hmm.
like that because now I also don't trust that I'm getting good patient care.
Right. Now, sometimes I won't mind if I have to wait a little bit if I know that when the doctor comes into the room, because they could be taking extra care and
Right,
time with another patient,
right,
giving them a little bit more because they require a little more. But if
right.
when you come to me, if and I've sat an extra 20, 30 minutes, and then you're not taking that time and care with me, then yeah, we have a problem.
If it's a consistent problem, if it's
If it's a
consistently like that
correct,
too, it's a
correct.
problem because I have switched doctors multiple times because of that.
Hmm.
I'll give
Hmm.
you a couple of tries.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to keep doing that because now you're not honoring me, and I'm concerned about the type of care. Because are you just doing what the manual says instead of really looking at me as a
Yes.
patient and really getting to know me and what my baseline is instead of telling me, well, the
Hmm.
book says this. I don't give a rat's behind what the book says.
Yeah.
What does my baseline blood work tell you? Because this is like my third or fourth appointment. What is the baseline telling you? Not what the manual says,
Right.
but what is the baseline telling you versus what I'm telling you about my history? And are you taking
Hmm.
that in consideration? If you're not doing that,
Well, most of the care that doctors are giving us in the first place are Eurocentric.
yeah, oh, absolutely.
They're not centered around Black women, Black people in general, brown
No.
people, Black and brown. We're not even considered in the when the medical research studies are going on. They're getting better now.
Oh, yeah.
In 2025, they are doing much better. However, it could be even better if we would get beyond the lack of trust with getting involved in medicine. Just saying,
Hmm.
because that we hurt our own selves and kick our own self, step on our own toes by not getting involved
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
understanding and doing the research before you go to a doctor. I looked up these doctors that was recommended to me.
Oh, absolutely. And we
I
see
needed
that.
to know what is your specialty. What is your field? Where'd you go to school? What
How
kind of
long you
school?
been
What
practicing?
was
Where
your
you did your
degree
residence?
in? Where
Yes.
did you do your residency? And
Mm-hmm.
how long have you been practicing before I come to you?
Mm-hmm.
I needed to know that.
Correct.
I was not going to a doctor who had just came into the breast cancer space 2, 3 years prior, but your degree was in osteoarthritis, in podiatry, and you decided to switch or something like that. No, internal medicine, and you decided to switch. No,
Mm-hmm.
this needs to be your specialty.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Cancer needed to be your specialty.
Correct.
Going to medical school, whether or not you found your niche as to if it was going to be breast or lung or prostate or whatever after that, fine. But cancer needed to be your base.
Correct.
That needed to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
And when we don't do our homework, and we know black and brown folk don't do their homework, they just go and do and take whatever recommendations are told to them and then go home and complain about what was recommended and told to them to their friends and family and not share it with the doctors or get all of the information. Now, this is something we were talking about in our breast friends group, how the education level sometimes can also play a part.
A huge part. A
It
huge
becomes
part.
a very big barrier in someone advocating for themselves.
Right.
The education level, the understanding level, lifestyle choices.
Mm-hmm.
Lifestyle. If someone who has been, let's say, addicted to drugs for quite a while, for many years, and
Mm-hmm.
have gotten clean, and now they're starting to take care of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the there could still be a barrier there in understanding. So then that's when you need to have someone with you.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
I,
And I
I didn't go to my appointments by myself because, as educated as I am and as much research as I did, I did not go to my appointments by myself because, one, when you get that kind of a diagnosis, or even before you get the diagnosis, when you're going for the testing and the screenings and all that, just knowing you're walking into this space and cancer is a possibility for you, your mind is racing and it's all over the place.
I was gonna
So
say
therefore, your
emotionally,
your hearing ability is very limited.
yes. You need somebody else there not only to advocate for you, but also to gather
To hear,
information and record and hear what you don't hear because it's traumatic. You are going
yes,
through a traumatic experience.
absolutely,
And I think that that's half the battle and everything that you just said, because taking someone with you helps to be your extra eyes and ears when,
yes,
again, you're going through it and there's
hmm
a lot coming at you all at one time. You know what
lots.
I mean? Like there's so much coming at you at one time, and you're getting a lot of even taking the information home, having to process that through everything you're still feeling, and because it's
Hmm
emotional, it's traumatic, it's this, it's
Correct,
a lot of different things
correct.
that you are experiencing, and then you again that trust factor that you mentioned, having that layer of trust, distrust, because trust is earned. And
Correct.
and we have every reason to go into some of these spaces
Mm-hmm.
already kind of like side eyeing everybody in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I think that that is very important to help. It's not going to take the trauma away, but it
No.
helps with that comfort that you have to know that, okay, here's someone I do trust. There's someone I
Yes.
know who's going to catch what I didn't catch. Now, here's
Mm-hmm.
the thing. You can't just take somebody alone because that's mom and them. Because if mom and them has the same education level as you're still going
No.
to be in the dark.
Limited.
They,
Yes.
they can write it down. They can do all of that, but you're still not going to know what to do with the information. You're going to need
Correct.
someone else with you. And I think that's half the battle. And I think about people who don't have English as their native language.
Mm-hmm.
Because what is it like for them? You know what I mean?
Yes.
If it's like this for us, right? And and going into that, like for me, when I had going through getting ready for my surgery, my pre-appointments, mom came down. Mama flew down from Baltimore to Florida and went to those appointments with me because like yeah, I got it. It was fine. It was as far as what she was telling me how it was going to be, all this other kind of stuff, but there was still so much because I'm still dealing with, okay, it's the whole idea that now someone's really about to cut me open. Like the
Mm-hmm.
closer it got,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the more
Mm-hmm.
real it got. So I'm in faith,
Yes.
I'm believing in all this stuff. And mama's going through the point, and she's like, okay, I'm going home because I got to take care of some stuff, but I'll be back because she knew when the surgery was scheduled. And so I'm still you still have the mental, there is a mental, I don't want to say anguish or torment, but there is still a mental battle that
Yes.
you go through regardless of whether it's cancer,
Mm-hmm.
somebody cutting on you.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Me, silly me.
I
I
gotta
was,
trust somebody
girl.
to put me under anesthesia, and I'm not him. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta trust everybody in the room, and then aftercare. You know what I mean? Because there's
Yes,
aftercare, and for you, like for me, I didn't have as much as you had to go through, but you like consistent. You still have regular appointments and regular things. So even though you're cancer free, that does not mean treatment and stuff stop. You have to go through things to maintain and make sure that you continue to be cancer free
yes.
because like you said, it's cellular. And so
Mm-hmm.
you have to make sure that your cells
Correct.
are doing what they're supposed to do. And
They're
even in
responding.
that, you got to advocate for yourself because what happens is something gets messed up and they cancel one of your treatments and you like, you,
G-
excuse you?
Listen, when I went to treatment on Friday, they were like, "Oh, now before I went, I said I didn't get a phone call to verify I was coming.
Right,
I said Lisa didn't call me. I said, better be no foolishness when I get down here.
right.
So I get there, go to registration. She said, "Oh, this has an orange line. It says you canceled." I said, "There is absolutely no way I will cancel this appointment." So she's
Why
told
would you
me.
cancel?
So I had
We
to
don't do
go.
that.
I had to go from registration over to down to the treatment part and talk to the lady down there. She had to go and talk to her manager. Somehow or another, this got mixed up. She's not on the schedule. She looks like she got canceled, but clearly she didn't cancel because she's here. I'm standing there. I said, Lord, I'm gonna keep my cool. I'm not gonna worry. Because I'm like, is it insurance? Did insurance do something?
Right,
What is happening? I said, you
correct.
know what? I'm not gonna stress. I'm gonna let them work it out. She came back and she said, here's your papers. We're putting you back on the schedule. Go back to registration, get your papers, and come back. And we're gonna put in the medication request for your treatment. I said, thank you. To this day, right now, I still don't know what happened, and I didn't ask.
Right, right,
I did not ask
right,
because I
right,
didn't need to go down that rabbit hole.
right, right. But
I did not.
imagine, it not working out that way and then
Right.
you having to blank off.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And
Right.
how
I'm
many
like, I'm gonna keep my cool until I don't
right,
have to. I'm
right,
gonna
until
stay
I don't have to.
calm
Right.
until I don't have to.
Right. And
Until I need to respond differently.
the frustrating thing is, why should I have to? Why, you know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
unfortunately, whether it's insurance or some other human error, how many times does it happen,
Hmm.
and people are, frustrated and different things like that, right? And so, because I go through insurance issues, but like, why is this not covered? I have a diagnosis that should be covered. Don't
Yes.
play in my face. So then I got to call the insurance company and be like, I don't know what doctors y'all got, looking at whatever, but these labs should have been paid for. I'm not paying for no labs because I have a
Sure.
diagnosis. We still working through them. We getting better, but the reality is, until it's not on my chart anymore, I have to get blood work done every 3 months. I'm
Listen.
not at the 6 month mark. I'm not at the mark where I can
Right.
get blood work done every 6 months or once a year. I got to have
Right.
blood work done every 3 months. Do I love it? Absolutely not. Because I don't like needles. Go away. Please find somebody else. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
even in that, advocating for myself, just trying to get blood work done and stuff, I have been,
Mhm.
and I'm blessed. I'm blessed that, with the exception of one person, because I promise you I swung on her, and I had to repent because I tried to tell you. I swung instead of grabbing her throat. At least I'm being honest. I'm being
Hey,
honest, y'all.
hey,
And because it's like, listen, and
listen.
to this day, I still have the bruise because she didn't listen to me. And because she didn't listen to me, boy, and they had to switch out. And I heard the doctor admonishing her and said, "You have to listen to the patient. The patient tells you something. Da, da, da. There's no reason why she should have that bruise. There's no reason why this should be happening. There's no reason why da 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 da. Like, literally, it's still here."
Yes,
And I'm just like, when I boy, because it
honey.
was it. Like you, when you
I
advocate
understand.
for yourself,
I
you see what I'm
understand.
saying? And you
Oh,
got
I
to,
understand.
and you don't listen to me or you don't
Huh.
listen. Now I'm the crazy person and I still got the permanent whatever. Girl, go relax,
Listen,
go play with somebody. And they literally switched with it. And the girl was like, okay, once I calmed down because my pressure was too high, so they couldn't draw the blood because they had to get my pressure down. And once the pressure came down, she had to switch arms. And I calmed down and relaxed, and it didn't hurt. Not a pit,
listen.
no nothing. But baby, when I tell you something,
You better listen. There
you know
is
what I
an
mean? And
MA right now.
this is what we talk about as far as the trauma of being a
Yeah,
black woman and advocating for yourself
listen.
daily, but in healthcare especially.
I had a black MA 3 months ago. She was giving me my treatment injections. And we talking, and we had met before because she was when she got came down to the department, and she was doing my blood work, doing my labs and everything. And I'm like, I'm talking to her, introducing myself to her, getting talking to her, helping her get to know who I am and all of this because I'm going to be seeing her regularly now.
Right.
And so when I went back the next month, she didn't give me my shot that month. She just did my labs. But she had to get help with drawing my blood work because I'm a hard stick and they only have one arm to work with since I had so many lymph nodes on my left right
Right.
side
Yeah.
taken out. They only have the left arm to work with.
Right.
And I'm telling her I'm a hard stick, yada yada. So my veins were not cooperating that day as they
Yeah.
typically don't.
They do what they do.
And so we had our issues and we laughed. I called on Jesus and was pleading the blood and rubbing my arms and all this. It sometimes it takes 2 or 3 people to even
To
draw
get
my
it.
blood.
Yeah.
So next month, 3 months ago, she comes in. She said, "I'm going to get your medication." I said, "What? You by yourself today?" She said, "Yeah, they let me loose." I said, "Oh, okay." So she went to give me my treatment, honey. I get intramuscular shots in my glutes.
Yeah.
When I tell you, she stuck me, I was hollering and screaming. And I'm like, what are you doing? Because I had never felt this kind of pain before. I ain't never hollered, screamed, flinched, or nothing. I've been getting
Right.
this shot for 5 years. What were you doing? Right?
Right.
And she was like, it's so hard because it is, the medication is hard to push through. It's trauma. It's hard for both of us. It's
Oh yeah.
trying on me and whoever, whoever's giving it. And then the other side, when I had a bruise this big,
Mm-mm.
scar tissue this big and this wide.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh
And
no.
I told her, I said, sweetheart, you will never do this to me again.
Absolutely.
Oh, Miss Lisa, I'm so sorry. Da, 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 da. So I made sure when I checked out and made my appointment for the next month, do not, I told them at the front desk, do not put me on her schedule. But if you do, she's not to, she can do everything else. She's not to give me my injections. It is 3 months later. That scar tissue went from this, because it's definitely a big lump.
Yeah.
It went from this, it's down to about this now, but it is still there.
Yeah.
And the bruise is still there.
Yeah.
You know what she did? But I told them she's not. So when I
Yeah.
went to treatment on Friday, she said, "Hey, Miss Lisa." I said, "Hey, sweetheart, how you doing?" I'm so kind and pleasant and nice to her because I, there's no reason for me to be mean to her.
Right. She got to
So
learn, but at the
she
same
has to learn,
time,
but she won't be learning on me.
she won't be learning on me.
I will not be her test dummy.
Absolutely not.
No, no, no,
Absolutely not.
no,
I don't
no,
blame
no, no,
you.
no, no. You get
No.
one time with me.
Yeah.
So she said, I said, "Oh, they think you giving me a shot." Kid you not. I said, "Oh, y'all think you giving me shots today?" She said, "No. If you want, we gonna get a nurse for you." I said, "Oh, everybody know I won't a
Yeah.
nurse.
We're not doing that.
You can do everything else, baby, but you're not." Oh, you. I said, "You won't get me again."
No.
She said, "Miss Lisa." I said, "Girl, you traumatized me."
And that's the truth.
It's the God's honest truth.
You still living with it because you still have,
I still have it back, and it
yeah.
hurt. 3 months later, it is still tender and hurt, and it is a huge knot.
Yeah.
Now I do get small knots from on the treatment sites,
Yeah.
And sometimes they get painful, or I'll get a shooting pain. There is a lot of scar tissue there.
Right.
I've been getting these shots every month
Yeah.
for 5 years. There's scar tissue, and it's in the same general area.
Correct.
But that from her alone. And I told her, I said, you will have to go, because I'll tell them, can't go right here. There's still a little knot right here. You're going to have to go somewhere over this way here. I'm guiding them. She didn't listen.
Yeah.
And
She
I said, oh,
probably
you
stuck
will
you in the
never.
same spot as
You
the
won't.
last one and added more scar tissue to the other scar tissue, which made it worse.
Made it
And yeah,
worse.
and what I'm trying to figure out is you hollering and screaming, why ain't nobody coming there to your rescue?
No.
Why ain't nobody come to
That
your
part.
rescue?
That part. I said, you will not.
Long as you've been coming in there, you
As
and they
long
ain't never
as.
heard you holler like that.
And that's
Why ain't
what I
nobody coming
said.
there for your
I
rescue?
said,
Now to
where's
find
everybody?
out what's going on.
What is happening here?
You see what I'm saying? This is what I'm
This is what
talking
we're
about as
talking
far
about.
as what we go through. And
Yes.
it's, I mean, she's a young girl, so she's learning, and that's great, that's fine. But even if you let her on her own, you should still be there at to see and
Monitoring.
to monitor her. And then you got a patient that's been coming for 5 years, and they hollering and screaming at the top of the lungs, and ain't nobody come check and
I've
see
been
what's
getting
going
this
on.
particular shot for 5, but I started over here in 2015. Maybe I've been coming here for 10 years.
Yeah, see, that's
10 years. What's
yeah,
wrong
see,
with this race right here? You don't know me? You
that's
forgot?
the
You forgot? Now they have had a lot of turnover
uh-huh.
because the Met started some shifts and changes and whatever. So they've had some turnover, but there are a few who are still there because the nurse now, the nurse I had for many years, girl, she up and left. She was like, she told me the last time I saw her, she was like, I'm telling you right now, I applied for another job.
I'm out.
She said, I'm letting you know. I said, oh, what department you going to now? She said she left medical altogether.